dramatic this would have been, how breathtaking this would have been. Because if you look in verse 14, it says, then he said to the tree, may no one eat fruit from you again. And then it's the next line, it said, his disciples heard him say it. Now, the writer of Mark felt like it was important to say that. You would just assume normally his disciples heard him say it because they're with him and he's talking. But the writer of Mark wants to make sure that you see this. Because they didn't only hear him say it, they felt it. Just to show you how dramatic this was, what Jesus did would have felt like standing in the middle of town, grabbing the national flag and setting it on fire. This wouldn't have, and his disciples would have gasped. You see, it's not about the cloth, it's about what it represents. This isn't about the tree, but it's about what it represents. The shock, the outrage, the statement. The thing isn't living up to what it claims to be. It represented the temple. It represented the leaders in the temple. It represented the entire system that has forgotten why it was there and what its purpose was. Is that us? Because it's easy to go and look at another church and say, man, that church, they got all the lights, they got the big screens, they got the coffee shop, they got, and say, man, they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing. Are we? Are you? Because this story is about us. It's one thing, and I think it's very important to read these scriptures and read these stories and see what happened back then, but I think it's even more important to read these scriptures and say, because of what happened back then, what's happening in me right now? Are you leafy? And I'll ask you again, why did he curse this tree? I mean, I think we all get leafy, right? We all pretend at some point to be something that we're not. And if you've ever done that, and you had to fake it, because you thought that was the easier thing to do, if you've ever had to get in a situation where you had to fake it, when you do that, a part of you dies. But I think it's easy to do because we have a default in us for performance over presence. Why? Because, well, performance feels better. We fear being exposed, so we cover up with appearance. And then we get comfortable with routine, even when it's unfruitful, because it's what we've always done. And there's some of us, we are stuck in a cycle of unfruitfulness, but we keep going and doing the same thing over and over and over again, just calling it something different. Because it's what's comfortable. we start chasing approval. Because real growth, true growth, doesn't come instantly. It takes a while. And we rely on words instead of being authentic. Because words are easier to control. I can tell you all day long how righteous I am, how great I am, how full of Jesus I am, how church-going I am. I can control that. But when it comes to being authentic and being the true me, it's not so easy. Leafy's easy. Slow maintenance. It's socially accepted. It makes us look spiritual. While avoiding the slow, messy, vulnerable work of growing something real. What are you growing? Are you growing something so you can get social media likes? I feel like somebody needs to know this. None of us are counting your likes. Some of us have blocked you months ago. I'm just kidding, Pee-wee. I'd never block you. But here's the confusing part of all this. Because it's easy as a preacher for me to pick one story, highlight that story, preach one thing, preach it hard, say a few memorable things so that then we can edit it, put it on social media, and I can make 5 Jimmy in the Mornings out of it this week. Absolutely. But see, in Jesus' stories, there's another fig tree. And it's found in Luke chapter 13. And it says this, then he told this parable. So Jesus is telling this story. It says, a man had a fig tree growing in his vineyard, and he went to look for fruit on it, but did not find any. So he said to the man who took care of the vineyard, which is the gardener, and spoiler alert, the gardener's Jesus. And he says, for 3 years now, I've been coming to look for fruit on this fig tree and have found none. Cut it down. Why should I use up this soil? Sir, the man replied, leave it alone for 1 more year. I'll dig around it, fertilize it. If it bears fruit next year, fine. If not, cut it down. I mean, 2 fig trees, but 2 totally different outcomes. Why? Like at first, like you're kind of like, Jesus, this is kind of contradictory of like what you did to the other tree. You just cursed it. Why curse one fig tree, but then give the other fig tree 1 more year? Anybody? Says the gardener says, give it 1 more year. I'll dig around it. I'll fertilize it. And if it doesn't grow, then I'll cut it down. The one tree gets cursed, the other tree gets cultivated. One gets protested, the other gets patience. Why? Well, see, the second tree that we find in Luke, first of all, it's planted in a vineyard, which means it's privileged. It has good soil. And it's planted there and has been there for 3 years. But see, the difference is this tree that's in the vineyard, it didn't say that it has full leaves. It's saying it's been 3 years. It has never produced fruit. This tree's not pretending to be something that it's not. And here's the thing. I had to rewrite this whole message because I was just going to end at the one. And then I started thinking about this story in Luke. I was like, I can't ignore this, so I got to look into it. I got to see what's the difference between these trees. And when I read this is what I started thinking about. I started thinking about people that are here at Fairlawn. And they come in and they sit in these chairs. And they're here for whatever reason it is. But they're here. And you look at them and you say, it's been 3 years. And they are still the same. It's been 3 years. And they're still the same. And it's easy to say, at this point, they're never going to change. And see, we've seen people come here, and we've seen the power of Jesus totally transform them. And then there's others we've seen, and they've been here for years, and they're still the same. And we want to say, you know what? Why are we even bothering? And Jesus is saying, they've been here 3 years. You notice Jesus didn't just say, the gardener didn't say, it's been here 3 years. Let's give it another year and see if it grows. He says, I'm going to dig around it. I'm going to spend some extra time with it, some extra care. I'm going to fertilize it a little bit more. I'm going to baby this tree. I'm going to walk beside this tree. I'm going to go through. There's not a day that's going to go by that I don't spend with this tree. So maybe before we say, oh, they've been here a few years, they're still the same. Or yeah, they'll come one Sunday and we won't see them for 6 Sundays, then they come back. Or oh, here we go again. Maybe before we do that, maybe we need to say, hey, let me spend a little time with them. Because we want it, a lot of times we want it fixed, but we don't want to be the one that does it. Pastor, you need to correct them. But the problem is usually when people say that, they don't mean you need to correct them. That means you need to punish them. Because, see, correction and punishment is different because correction's done out of love. And it means, hey, I'm ready to walk by them every day. I'm going to dig around them. I'm going to fertilize around it. I'm going to spend a little more time with it. I'm going to take care of it. I'm going to call it on the phone, ask how it's doing. But we're so quick to dismiss people. See, I don't know if you've realized this. This story is not about trees at all and about figs at all and about Jesus being hungry at all. This story is about people. And I just want to say, you might need to be a little careful when you say things like, I hate people, or I don't like people, or I've given up on people. Because you're a person, and Jesus hasn't given up on you. And maybe you're one of those people that you're like, man, that's me. Maybe you're like Stephen who called out, hey, what are you talking about me? Maybe you're like, that is me. And you've accepted that label you've been given. And now that has given you an excuse not to get involved. That's given you an excuse not to come. That's given you an excuse to just continue through these cycles. And you just need to know, Jesus hasn't given up on you. And neither has Fairlawn. Now, The other tree is on a road that people travel by, that people go by. The other tree that Jesus cursed, that tree has big leaves. It's promoting something that it can't offer. See, Leviticus chapter 19, verse 9 says this. It says, when you reap the harvest of your land, do not reap to the very edges of your field or gather the gleanings of your harvest. Do not go over your vineyard a second time or pick up the grapes that have fallen. Leave them for the poor and the foreigner. I am the Lord your God. See, what the Torah is saying, what Leviticus is saying is, when you harvest your land, don't strip the edges bare, but leave some for those that are less fortunate than you. Leave some for those that are not as privileged as you. Leave some for those that weren't born in the same country as you. Leave some for those that don't have what you have. But God, how about if they don't believe like me? Just leave some for them. Leave them for them anyways. See, a fig tree by the road, that's food for everybody. This isn't just food for Jesus. This was not about Jesus' breakfast. This is food for everybody. The travelers, the hungry, the stranger. So when there's leaves but no fruit, it's not about just missing breakfast. It's the poor going hungry. It's the foreigner passing by empty-handed. It's a system designed for generosity that stopped being generous. Oh, that's what this story is about. And by the way, fruit isn't for the tree. It's for the people that come up to the tree. Oh, you thought the fruit that goes on here, the fruit that Fairlawn's growing, you thought it was for you? You thought it was for me? You thought it was for us? No. It's for those that come in. It's for those out there. Well, I'm not hurting anybody. I'm just not going to grow fruit. I just won't have any fruit. No. Fruit's not for you. It's for those around you. So yeah, fig happens. And sometimes it's that kind of fig, all leaves, no fruit. And when that happens, people suffer. And see, today maybe you're the first tree. And today it's time for you to stop pretending. Or maybe you're the second tree. And it's time to let somebody in and let them dig around you. Open up to them. You don't got to open up to everybody. You do not have to put all your mess and all your things up on social media. But you need to let somebody know. You need to have somebody you can open up with and be yourself. And let them dig around you, and let them fertilize you, let them spend time with you. But either way, whether you're either the first tree or the second tree, either way, Jesus is after fruit. He's looking for fruit. And during this whole series, we've had these stars. And I know that you may not remember all what the stars are for, but we have the clear star. That was about clarity when you don't know what's next. And then we have the red star. That's about courage to step into that moment, to step into that place, and to speak up when you need to speak up for what's right, regardless of what anybody else thinks. And then there's the blue star that's saying, hey, it's time to rebuild. But I'm not just talking about rebuilding your life, rebuilding those around you's lives. Letting people know, hey, I'm in this with you. But today, Today we have a yellow star. The color of light that exposes, the color of truth, and that moment where, well, you can't pretend anymore. Right now you should have a leaf. And here's the thing, we all, at times, we get leafy, we put the leaves out, we show off, we pretend to be something we're not. Listen, is it okay if I'm just real with you? There are times when I've put on the pastor's smile, I've shaken the hands, given the hugs, act like everything's fine. Here's the problem. Most of you guys know me pretty well, so I'm fooling you. I thought one time I did. I was like, man, I came in, there was a lot of stuff going on. I came here on a Sunday, and I wasn't feeling it. If you don't, you thought you were the only ones that don't feel it sometimes? You wish you were the only ones that thought you wish you could stay home on a Sunday and just stay in bed? Or just watch Jeopardy all day? Sorry to call you out, Cynthia. You thought, no, I do it too. And I put on that pastor smile, that pastor handshake. And there was one Sunday I thought I had everybody fooled. Nobody said anything to me. Nobody asked me what was wrong. I'm like, man, I'm getting good at this. I'm getting better. And my acting skills, man. The next Sunday, I came to church. Bob walks up to me. He says, man, I'm glad to see that you are feeling better after you were so down last Sunday. I thought, dang it, Bob. Man, if I could have $1 for every time I said, dang it, Bob. But what are you faking? What are you pretending? What are you doing that's not you can't be the real you? What are you afraid of? I want you right now, that's what I want you to write on this leaf. What is it, that thing that you're faking? What is that thing that you're pretending? What is that thing that you need to stop doing to produce fruit? Because you can't produce fruit if you're trying to be something or somebody else. You can say all you want that you're an apple tree, but unless you're an apple tree, you're not going to produce apples. You might fool some people. What is the thing that you care more about the appearance than just being you? What is that? What is that? After you have it written down? After you have it written down, I want you to get out of your seat. I want you to bring it up here on the stage and just drop it, and then you go back to your seat and you leave it. Because today you're going to leave it. You're going to leave that thing. You're going to leave it. You're not going to go back to it when you get home. You're not going to go back to it tomorrow. You're leaving it because from this day forward, you're going to produce fruit. Aren't you tired of faking it? Aren't you tired of the cycles that you're in? Don't posting those things and having to give that appearance, isn't it tiring and exhausting it? No. It's time to stop faking. What's that thing that you won't let people in about? Somebody here right now, you have an issue with, you're like, I'm gonna, you know what, I have something written down, but I'm I'm going to wait till service is over, then I'm going to go slip it up there on the stage. Well, that kind of defeats the whole purpose that you care more about the appearance and how you look to everybody else than you do about getting real. And by the way, church is probably the place that's more famous than any other place for people coming and being fake. How if we be that church that switches that around? How about if we're the church that said, man, the one thing I can say about Fairlawn, other than that, Pastor Jimmy's hilarious and extremely funny and very good looking. But one thing I can say about Fairlawn is they are real. They'll just tell it how it is. Gets a little uncomfortable sometimes. See, I don't want you to go through another day having to fake it. Because I know how miserable that is. See, fig happens, it does. Pretending happens. Dry seasons happen. Burnout happens. Church hurt happens. But see, grace happens too. Healing happens too. Growth happens too. Fruit happens too. So my friends, my family of Fairlawn Church, who I love so much, may you go and be that tree that produces fruit. Grace and peace. I love you.
Microphone? Okay, there we go. That was a great word. It's a really, really, really good word. And, one of the things that it brings to mind, and it really goes along with this scripture that I've kind of had in my mind, in my head for a while, and it says, I am the true vine. My Father is the husband. Every branch in me that beareth not fruit, he taketh away. And every branch that beareth fruit, he purges it, that it may bring forth more fruit. And what's interesting is Jimmy talked about a second tree, that the responsibility, Jesus took the responsibility to dig around that tree, right? For the fruit to come. The responsibility was Jesus. He said, hey, I'm going to dig around that tree that's not bearing any fruit to produce fruit. And it's interesting that when we read this, every branch in me that does not bear fruit, I take away. If you look at that word, take away, and look at what it really means, it means in the Greek, it means to lift up. So every branch in him that does not bear fruit, he comes along and lifts it up and puts it in place so it will bear fruit. Just like he took the responsibility of digging around the tree so it would bear fruit. The only thing he asks of us is easy, is stay connected. That's it. Stay connected. He'll dig around the tree. He'll fertilize you so you'll bear fruit. He'll lift you up and put you in place if you're not bearing fruit. He'll take on that responsibility. He just has to stay connected. Now, that's tree number 2 Jimmy talked about. But you want to know what? Tree number 1 is full of hypocrisy. Why was it full of hypocrisy? Because it wasn't what? Connected. And whenever you're not connected, you're trying to be something you're not. You're trying to stand up here and act like something or be something or have a fake smile on or just be the person you're not and not be real because you're trying to put on a show because you're not connected. And you get frustrated and you end up punishing people. It's a direct sign of someone who's not connected, wants punishment. Like Pastor Jimmy said, correction comes out of love and relationship. It's instruction. Punishment comes out of, I'm just not connected. I'm going to punish you, punish you, punish you, punish you. All right? Thank you, Pastor Jimmy. I'm going to go ahead and pray. I think that's it. And I think, yes. You want to go fishing afterwards, Bob? Is that what that means? What? Okay. Well, I'm going to have Heath pray. Close this out. Pray over the food, if he would, please.
Lord, Father God, we come to you this afternoon thanking you for this day. Thank you for this hour. Thank you for these people in this congregation. Thank you for our pastors, for the praise team, and every member of this church who is here to commune and to fellowship today. We bless the food that is prepared for us. We ask that you bless the hands that prepared it and the people that will partake of it. In your name, Jesus Christ. Amen.